to do a brief demo to talk about the layers to get the correct line weights in the drawing. I know there's been kind of a little bit of confusion about that, so I thought maybe it would help to do a demo to sort of show what I was talking about. Sometimes it's hard to convey the ideas just typing it out. So let me try showing this on a drawing. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my layers here, and I want to make sure that I have the layers that I need based on the LSLE.cad standards, because they are not necessarily going to match up with the layers that are provided in the base plan. So I need to have the boldest layer. So I'm just going to click on this one here, and I'm going to hit New Layer. And I'm going to say it's going to be A Detail M Cut. And let me just double check. I'm going to make that 0.35 for the line weight. And then I need an A Detail M Beyond, basically. Let's see, so let me do a new one. And for this one, these are both supposed to be yellow for the standards. The color really doesn't make any difference, and it'll be easier for me to show you what's on the different layers if I have them on different colors. So I'm going to switch this color to green. And then this line weight is supposed to be, let me just double check here, 0.25. Alright, and then we need our A Detail Pattern. I'm going to switch that to blue as it specifies. Again, the color doesn't really matter. Oops. Find that again. Okay, and then I need to set the line weight. Let me see what it's supposed to be, 0.13. Okay, so those are the three that I need for the actual detail itself. Then we are also going to need the annotation layer as well, but those are already in place. So the first thing I want to do, I want to take a look at this detail, and I've just got everything on layer 0 right now, and we've got this block that was provided in the base plan as well. And I do want to make one adjustment to that. You don't need to do this. You can leave it just the way it is. It'll be fine. But I want to show you what I would do so that we can get the line weights exactly, where they're supposed to be. I'm going to double click on this block, and I'm going to open this. This is going to take me into the block editor. And when I go in the block editor, when I select this, I'm going to see it's on A Detail Medium, and it's got a line weight assigned to it. What I want to do, I'm going to select the whole block here, all the lines. I want to put it on layer 0. If I put it on layer 0, it will then take on the characteristics of whatever layer I place it on, which is really the best way to create blocks. I'm also going to change this line weight from 0.5, and I'm going to put it to by layer. And then I'm just going to go to Save Block and Close Block Editor. So again, you don't have to do that step, but in the interest of being a little bit more exact on it, I went ahead and did that so that we can get the items on the right layers. So now what we want to do is we want to identify what materials we're cutting through, because those materials we want to place the edge line on the boldest, that M cut layer. So we're cutting through the drywall, so I'm going to select the border line of the drywall. And we're also cutting through the stud, so I'm going to select that. And I'm going to start with those. We're going to have to go in and get the ceiling tile too. But let me start with these. So now I want to look for that A Detail M Cut. And you can see now those are on that layer. Now let me go in here and select the ceiling tile. And we're cutting through, this is the tile itself. What you're seeing back here is the structure that's holding the grid up, basically. So that's going to actually be on a different layer. But we are going to be cutting through this little angle here. So let me select that as well. So again, I'm going to put those on the A Detail M Cut layer. Okay, so now let's look at the items that we're seeing beyond the cut plane. So what we're going to see is we're going to see the side of the stud. So this is the kind of the next stud over. We're going to see this support piece here that's attaching the horizontal plane of the drywall, and we're also going to be seeing this structure, and I'm going to include the wire that's holding up the grid. So those I'm going to place on a detail beyond. So those are kind of an elevation. So now I want to do the lightest line weights, and so I'm going to put the lines that are indicating, and you can do this as a hatch or lines, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put these lines and my hatch, my drywall hatch, on the A detail pattern layer, because that's my lightest line weight, and I want those to be very light. So I selected those. Now I'm going to place my keynotes on the A Ano keynote layer, and then we also want to have those dimensions showing the height difference and how far above the drywall is, and so those need to be added onto the A Ano dim layer, or if you create a dimension layer specifically for the details. But now I would also go in and place these break lines. I want those to be kind of more, those could either be kind of bold, or I might actually place them on the beyond layer so they're not quite as dark. And then that should really take care of it. So let me, if I go into my sheet here, and I'm going to, let's see, oh, wrong sheet, this one. Okay, so then I'm going to just erase this, and I'm going to go, let me see if I've got a viewport layer in here. I didn't check that. Yes, I do. Okay, I'll make that current, and then I want to put in my viewport. And then let me get my detail kind of in the middle here, and then I'll scale it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a quick test plot. And I'm going to use my DWG to PDF, monochrome, got my line weight set up, and I'm just going to hit preview here. And then zoom in a little bit so we can kind of see. And it's a little bit hard to see on the preview, but you can see that we're starting to get a heavier line weight here on the items that are cut. The hatch is coming in very light, and then the stuff that we're seeing in elevation is coming in a little bit lighter. Let me go ahead and make the PDF. I'm just going to stick it on my desktop here, because we should be able to see the line weights a little bit better. Zoom in here. Sometimes I get some little glitches when I'm recording a demo. Yeah, you should be able to see them a little bit better. So again, you can see this perimeter line is dark, where we're cutting through, but then these detail lines are lighter. The keynotes come in kind of medium, as does the stuff that you're seeing in elevation. So hopefully that kind of clears things up a little bit on what I'm talking about with the layers, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.